Infantry fighting vehicles are a type of armored fighting vehicle primarily used for transporting infantry to and around the battlefield and supporting the infantry once they have been transported to that battlefield. They are commonly mixed up with armored personnel carriers, APCs. The main difference between the two is that APCs lack substantial armor and armament. IFVs, infantry fighting vehicles, came into essence in the 1950s based on German experiences in World War II. Infantry fighting vehicles were designed to give armies more advantages in mobility but keeping infantry relevant. Infantry fighting vehicles have many advantages which can also be applied in war. They are capable of carrying a squad of infantry. This allows the infantry fighting vehicles to go into combat without being accompanied by dismounted infantry, which would slow them down, as they quickly lose infantry support if they use their mobility to the maximum. However, they do have the infantry, so they can dismount those infantry and still use them as a screen. Infantry fighting vehicles are armored, so they are able to protect the infantry that they are carrying. However, all of this is a task that can be done by an APC. Yet if the job is done by the APCs instead of the IFVs, then the infantry will lose the support from the IFV's weapons. IFVs can provide support to the infantry after they dismounted, and they are usually equipped with an autocannon and an anti-tank guided missile, in addition to other armaments. This means that they are capable of standing up to main battle tanks. Infantry fighting vehicles are also quite mobile. Some infantry fighting vehicles are also air-portable or amphibious. For all these reasons, they are quite an effective vehicle. Many theories that create IFVs are actually contradictory to the practicalities. Unfortunately, these problems are not always recognized. Two main problems are the cost and the ammunition. Infantry fighting vehicles are quite expensive. Not many of them can actually be operated by a military. However, infantry fighting vehicles are thought of as a replacement for the APC, which was cheap and could be operated in large numbers. This misleads people, especially those who are supplying the military, to think that infantry fighting vehicles are cheap and should be used in large numbers. For example, the M113 APC costs $300,000. However, the M2 Bradley IFV costs 10 times that amount, $3 million. Current military strategy calls for a combined arms attack, but with infantry fighting vehicles in such short supply, they will either only support a small front or have their ranks diluted by APCs and dismounted infantry that would slow them down. Replacing all of the APCs with IFVs would be even more expensive because IFVs can only carry a small contingent of infantry, so more infantry fighting vehicles than APCs would be required. Then there is the issue of ammunition. This is a large one. Infantry fighting vehicles' autocannons are quite commonly equipped with APDS ammunition, armor-piercing discarding sabot. APDS is a type of ammunition that has a core, which is the missile-like thing surrounded by a casing. The casing, called the sabot, which is the pieces around the core, is scattered all over the place after the shell leaves the barrel. Hundreds of these sabots could be flying out of an autocannon in the space of a few seconds. Being hit by part of a sabot is potentially lethal, so the infantry traveling anywhere near the IFV would be quite a bad idea. However, without this infantry shield, the combat team would be unable to deal with hidden enemies, and these hidden enemies would be able to destroy infantry fighting vehicles with infantry-mounted anti-tank weapons. Infantry fighting vehicles are also not very well armored as compared to main battle tanks. So, while they are more armored than APCs, they still cannot go effectively into all the places that a main battle tank can. And even if the armor and the ammunition was fixed, it would still have the cost, or all the different permutations of that problem. Infantry fighting vehicles are in operation with most militaries. They are still effective in modern warfare, and are likely to be effective for quite a bit longer. This is because it is so difficult for a piece of equipment with so much technology, so much money invested into it, to be ineffective. However, they're not used in an effective manner, and it's almost impossible to do so. They're not very cost effective. As war evolves, a replacement for the IFVs must be designed.